are the New York Knicks. I'm back in New York. Well, it's the Knicks. New York. We are the New York Knicks. New York. For this new season we're about to enter, the Knicks taking no shorts just like winter.
New York, New York.
New York be about the Knicks, huh?
But the best thing about New York City is
K-N-I-C-K-S.
Everybody say go New York, go New York, go!
Hey everybody, welcome to the New York Knicks podcast, episode 450, part of the Almighty Baller Podcast Network and Dash Radio. I am Jay. With me as always is Marc, and we have special guest Bry here today. How you guys doing?
Good.
All right.
Hi, everyone. Don't worry. I'll be nice today.
All right.
Bry, if you don't remember him, he's the person we have on the show that gets the most complaints of anyone we have on the show. He's the only thing worse than the actual Knicks is Bry. Thank you, Bry, for joining us.
My pleasure, guys.
Let me ask you guys both a question.
Mm-hmm.
Bry, I think you live in Connecticut, but Jay and I both live in New York, at least the state. Would it be that big of a deal if we just switched over and became a Brooklyn Nets podcast?
I don't want to be a Nets fan.
I know. Why are the Nets so much better, though, than the Knicks right now?
The Nets are better, but I can't even. Barclays is such a bad place to go to games.
Yeah, I agree. But why don't we just give them MSG? The Knicks just are trash anyway.
Is it a bad place because it's hard to get to, or is it just like a lousy arena?
It's not even the arena. It's that I guess they don't have any confidence in their fans, so they pump in music the entire game.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
And it's just distracting and annoying, and it's let the fans make noise or put in an organ every once in a while, like the Knicks. I don't. It's not like club night. I don't want to listen to the blaring music for 2.5 hours.
Gotcha.
Well, it's Brooklyn, so if you turn off the music, it would just be a sound of 15,000 fans playing with a hacky sack.
And eating squash.
Yeah, I have not seen a Nets game at Brooklyn, and I don't know also why I would go there, because if you're gonna go to a game, you go to MSG because that's a really fun place to watch a game, even though it costs an arm and a leg.
Well, that's why I go to Nets games for $15 instead of paying $85 for a Knicks game.
Yeah, that does seem a little more reasonable. Why is it so much cheaper?
Because
it's New York
nobody
City.
cares about the Nets.
Yeah, that's it. Well, either way, I'm just annoyed because the Brooklyn traded away basically 5 years of draft picks. And we've been talking about how the Knicks trade away draft picks all for a decade, trade away draft picks, and we're finally keeping our draft picks. And Brooklyn basically is a lot better than the Knicks right now, and they did it without draft picks.
Yeah, they made a bunch of smart moves and signings.
Yeah, there's not a single guy in their team that's really good who they drafted, at least a high pick.
Well, they didn't. Yeah, they didn't have high picks because in the years they didn't trade their draft pick, they did pick swaps.
Yeah, who do they have right now? They have D'Angelo Russell, who's playing almost all-star level,
Mm-hmm.
and the Knicks got him in a salary dump, basically.
The Nets.
The Nets. Sorry, the Nets got him in a salary. Basically, they gave up the 27th pick, which ended up being who's the guy in the Lakers with the 27th pick who actually one of the few good young players.
Russell something? No.
We're the worst podcast ever.
Yeah,
I know who you're talking about.
I know too. I have his name.
Kuzma.
Yeah,
Kyle Kuzma.
Yes.
He's the only good young player on the team. So the Nets, in theory, could have drafted Kuzma. But D'Angelo, if you're the Nets, are you extending D'Angelo Russell? What kind of contract are you giving him?
Probably. I mean, I'd be wary that this isn't just a contract year, fluky thing. But the way he's playing now, I think you kind of have to.
I mean, he's in if Moutier was playing, and Moutier and D'Angelo Russell at the same draft, if Moutier was playing like D'Angelo Russell, we would be out of our minds excited.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are Brooklyn fans excited? I mean, do Brooklyn fans exist? Do they have emotion?
Well, they're all hipsters, aren't they? So no, they have no emotion.
Yeah.
When
I went to a concert in Williamsburg, and instead of the food court, instead of normal concert food, they had squash and Brussels sprouts and stuff. Friggin' hipsters.
Goddamn hipsters. The other night, Russell had, I think it was 8 for 12 from 3-point land. Unfreaking real.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they got a point guard. Where did they get Spencer Dinwiddie from?
Second round.
And Carlos LeVert, who's out, I guess injured now. But where'd they get him?
They got LeVert from 20th pick.
Right?
No, Indiana drafted him 20th. They somehow ended up with him.
We've done no research, by the way.
I didn't know we were doing the Nets podcast today. I didn't research.
We might as well. They're the only good team in New York.
To be fair, I don't think the Celtics got anything out of any of those picks either. So
Yeah, I mean, Celtics are pretty underwhelming.
They went from being, we have the greatest coach ever, they're going to take over when LeBron leaves, to, wow, why are all those All-Stars together sucking?
they have the greatest coach who's never won anything and never been to a finals, but he's the greatest coach ever.
They got Curry. The Nets got that guy Currix in the second round, who looks great. The Celtics are a whole other story. I don't know, why are the Celtics not good this year suddenly?
It seems like all their younger guys took a step back when Kyrie and Hayward came back. Hayward has sucked. Yeah. Horford is not playing that good. So really, it's been the Kyrie show with a bunch of young guys who all took a step back.
And Marcus or Markel, whichever Morris they have, is playing pretty darn good.
Mm-hmm. It's the guys you wouldn't expect, like Morris and Marcus Smart. They're playing good, but like Terry Rozier, Jaylen Brown, like they're not playing good.
So the Nets, one of the things the Nets did all these years, when they were like, we're going to be bad anyway. We're not even tanking for a draft pick. We know what we will do? We'll take our cap space and let other teams dump salary on us if they give us assets for that. And that seems to have worked out well for them. Or whatever. I hate the Nets. I cannot believe the Nets right now are like the 6th seed, playing out. I think they're like 16-5 in the last 21 games, or 15-5, whatever it is. And the Knicks couldn't win a game. They may not win the game in the entire 2019 year.
They almost won this week. Their one and only game. They almost won.
Okay, so they lost this week against the Wizards on a
goaltend.
What would be the worst way for that? How else could the Knicks lose a game?
On a travel?
That would be pretty bad.
Yeah, trip over their own feet. Turn the ball over.
Shoot the ball in their own hoop.
Not forget there was a fourth quarter and not show up for it.
I think that's happened a couple times already.
I know. Play their hardest. So anyway, the Knicks played the Wizards. They played pretty well. They lost by 1 point because that's just how it works. In that game, they looked really good at the start of the game. They were up by a lot in the beginning and just fell apart. Like Kornet had 12 points in the first quarter, and I think finished the game with like 14 points.
I also found it weird. Moutier, 25 points, 11 for 18 shooting, 7 rebounds, 2 assists. Plus minus was a minus 12.
I don't know.
In a one-point game.
You would think those kind of stats he'd be a higher. I mean, the plus minus is a little fluky and all that, but and Neil Aquino on 1 for 7 with 3 rebounds, 2 assists was a plus 11.
Very weird plus minuses on Thursday.
I don't know. Do you have anything to say about that game besides the Knicks? The Knicks are just like they're good at losing on all continents.
Luke Kornet can really, really shoot.
Yeah. So if he hits 4 of 6 3-pointers in the first quarter, do you let him shoot the rest of the game from 3?
No, I just let him run around and not really give him the ball.
Don't give him the ball the rest of the. I mean, I know they changed coverages. They tried to shut down Kornet. But how about he shoots from 3 again once the rest of the game?
So if I told you a month ago the defending team strategy would be to shut down Kornet.
How does also Knox had a huge game against Philly, and then he was 2 for 11 and just looked like garbage. I like Knox a lot, but this is the guy the only guy in the roster that's active right now that we're even remotely excited about is Knox. Everyone else, you're like, whatever. Yeah,
I mean, I expected Knox to be up and down. He had a nice streak of games going. He's going to lay an egg once every week or two. He's 19.
Yeah. So there have been a couple of things that happened this week. I think it was this week. Kadeem Allen was signed to a 2-way contract which means I guess he can spend it. What was the 2-week contract like? 35 games or 35 days, whatever it is. He can spend a little bit less.
Not games. I think
what is it?
It's days, not games. 35 or 45 days.
Okay, but I guess apparently because he got signed mid-season, it's less games total.
Okay.
Are we excited about Kadeem Allen? Is he our best player?
He might be our best guard.
He can play defense. He was. I know he's been heralded for his defense in college and in the G League. Is he going to get any playing time? You think?
Yeah. Why would they sign him and not play him?
That's what the Knicks' previous strategy.
They're the Knicks.
I mean, unfortunately, he's probably going to take Ntilikina's minutes.
I hope not. The other rumor this week was that Ntilikina was being both teams were inquiring about him, and Stefan Bondi reported that the Knicks have actually reached out to the Hawks to see if they wanted to trade for Ntilikina. The Hawks were not interested. I don't know if that rumor is true. I mean, I don't know if that's actually true, but that was a rumor that was out there. So not only have teams reached out to the Knicks have also reached out. Perry supposedly reached out to the Hawks.
What are they going to do? Be like, oh, Huerter's averaging 20 points a game now. Could we trade him for a guy who averages 4?
I don't know. I don't see the point in trading Ntilikina. I guess I would just say someone pointed out online that since Moutier's been the starter, their Knicks are 9-35. Is that enough of a sample size to say let's try the other guy?
I mean, the Knicks were just as bad when anybody else was starting.
Yeah, I mean, I guess when Ntilikina starts, they only have 1 win. So
yeah, out of like
Better than no wins.
yeah.
I mean, they have 10 wins, so 9 of them came with. The team's just garbage. Yeah. Okay, so Bri.
Yeah.
Can you help me there?
I'll try.
I think Jay's about to just quit the podcast. I think he's just almost done with this. Can we talk him back into can we talk him into staying with the show?
I get. How do we do that?
I don't know. I brought you on just to do that, Bri.
Oh. Well, Jay, why do you think you're quitting?
It's just it's not that fun right now, and it hasn't been fun for 4 years.
It's a lot of time not to do fun to do things that aren't fun.
Yeah, you know how much time you spent trying to get the CPA, which wasn't fun? You didn't quit that.
No, but that's actually going to pay off. Like this is just,
eventually, someday, hopefully.
This is just like work at this point.
I mean, it's not like work because none of us scream at you.
Is it because the Knicks are so bad?
Yeah, it's they're bad, and I don't see them being good anytime soon.
When do you think they'll be good? Like within what will happen first? Will the Knicks be good or will the sun explode?
See, the thing is, a lot of people are like, oh, there's a really good chance the Knicks get Kyrie. I don't want Kyrie. Is he doing anything? He's putting up numbers on the Celtics, but the Celtics are the 5th seed.
The only thing he's doing is staging fake phone calls with LeBron.
Yeah, exactly. That was like really
publicity
cheesy.
Stunts.
Yeah, that was.
Wait, so the Celtics with Kyrie and a really like a bunch of all-stars are only 1 seed above the Nets.
Yeah, so I'm not really impressed with Kyrie.
What's the deal with the fake phone call? Like he called LeBron, they both reported it, and it was like, LeBron, I've learned from you.
LeBron just happened to be he just happened to be on like a reality show with Kevin Love, and like all of a sudden, Kyrie called him.
It was a reality show they were on?
I thought I read that, but maybe I might be wrong.
I thought they were at lunch.
Yeah, they were at lunch, but I think they were like filming a show or something. I thought I read somebody on Twitter. I thought was saying that like there was cameras there or something.
That would explain a lot. If they were filming that would explain a lot.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised they were filming it. Like the whole. If you're really LeBron, what do you say? You go, "Hey, Kyrie, why the hell did you leave me in Cleveland?"
Yeah, but the thing is, that phone call, if it took place, it shouldn't have been reported by either side. Like, if you're going to call him and apologize or ask for leadership advice, do that. You don't have to be like, hey, look at me. This is what I did. I did a thing. Like, just do it.
You don't think it's weird that both sides reported it?
I think
had their own versions of it. They wanted to immediately get out?
Yeah, I think it's very weird that they did that. It seemed very staged.
Why? But what's even the point of doing that? Like, are they the one theory is that Kyrie will now go to the Lakers next year?
I don't think that's it. I think it's Kyrie stands to I don't know if he's going to lose money.
He's going to need LeBron to vouch for him in free agency. Is what he's going to need.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
because everybody, 100% of everybody in basketball cares about LeBron James's opinion for some reason.
Yeah, so Kyrie gets validated, and LeBron, he shows that he can make up with people because there's rumors that like a lot of stars don't want to play with LeBron anymore.
Yeah, maybe in LeBron's side, you're right. So he wants a big free agent. If Kyrie apologized to him, then other stars will be like, "Oh, maybe LeBron's not so bad to play with."
Right.
But what's the benefit for Kyrie? I get the LeBron side.
Because then LeBron will vouch for him and he'll tweet about him and say positive things about him when he's on a free agency tour, and people don't realize that he's not that good of a player and that he's hurt all the time.
Well, I guess
then they'll also think then like in 2 years when LeBron has his next free agency, well, he likes Kyrie. Maybe he'll come here when he's washed up and 40 years old.
Well, do you think people are blaming Kyrie for the Celtics' woes?
Why shouldn't they? He's throwing his teammates under the bus.
Well, is that what you do as a leader? You throw your teammates under the bus after every game?
Yeah, that's a great strategy.
But whatever. It'd be nice if the Knicks just sign anyone. Any star-like player,
not Kyrie.
Because at least and we get a top 5 pick. Because in the top 5 pick plus KP plus whoever we sign,
you're assuming KP ever plays basketball again.
All together, we'll at least win 11 games next year. This is horrible. The team can't be any. At least the team will be better. They'll win some games. They'll be relevant, and I'll take relevancy at this point.
Yeah, I'm so scared of getting Kyrie. The guy's always injured.
Yeah, I thought he's healthier than you expect. I thought like he plays like 60 games a year.
You want him or you want the softy Kevin Durant?
Well, all right.
I'd much rather Kevin Durant. 60 games is not good.
Right? Can you come on to bash Kevin Durant after he doesn't sign with the Knicks?
Yeah, absolutely.
Why do you, Bri has famously, I'm using the word famously probably in quotes, but he has famously bashed Durant and said Durant is not a winner on multiple occasions. Do you still think Durant's not a winner after he has 2 titles?
Yeah, he needs the Warriors more than they need him.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got 2 championships. You can't take that away from him, but I mean...
So would you say it's fair to say...
The Warriors could have got anybody to take his spot, and they still would have won the last 2 titles.
So would you be fair to... Would you think... Is it fair to say... Is he the best player on the Warriors, though, right now?
No, Curry is.
Okay. Would it be fair to say that basically Durant's career he'll be seen basically as a loser if he does not come to the Knicks?
I think if he comes to the Knicks, that'll personify him as a loser.
Let's just assume that the only options are stay in the Golden State and be a loser and that's the worst NBA player ever, or come to the Knicks. I think that's what we have to.
I mean, if he wasn't so soft and sensitive, he could stay in the Warriors the rest of his career and just keep collecting titles. But he hates that everybody's calling him a soft.
So if he leaves Golden State, I think he's insane if he does. But where else would he go besides the Knicks? Where else would he go besides one of the worst teams in the NBA?
He could go to the WNBA.
That'd be pretty cool if he could take a WNBA team and led them to the NBA title. Maybe in the Me Too movement, he'll go play with the WNBA and he'll be like, now Me Too win this.
He could just say, I identify as a woman.
Who else makes sense for Durant?
What's the?
I'm trying to think of a team that has space enough.
Holy crap!
Yeah.
Did you just see what happened?
Yeah,
Is that a touchdown?
I don't think it's gonna be.
Why not?
It should be. I don't think you could advance a muffed punt, but I think it's definitely just gonna be Chiefs ball.
Why is he arguing? We're watching
because Julian Edelman's a whiny little bitch.
So it's the Chiefs.
He's gonna say it didn't hit him. It hit his arm right there.
Did you see what the no call in the Saints game?
That was beautiful. I hate the Saints. That was awesome.
That was a horrible no call. It was clearly
the Saints got screwed
clearance.
So bad from going to the Super Bowl today.
I saw that. That was probably the shadiest ending to a football game I've ever seen in my life.
I mean, are you allowed to knock out the receiver cold before the football gets there?
Apparently.
I mean, unbelievable. So, what the hell happened here?
Did Tim Donahue
move over to... I think they're saying you can't have...
Tim Donahue is an NFL ref now?
What? Yeah, that was ridiculous. So what happened here at the? This is the Patriots versus Chiefs game. What's the call?
I think they're calling it a muffed punt, which you can't advance, so they just get the ball right there. Like, because he touched it, so you get it, so that's a muffed punt. If he had it and he fumbled it, then I think that's the rule.
Wait, if he had it and he fumbled it, you can't.
If he had it and he fumbled it, then they could take it and run it back. But all he did was touch it, and then it becomes a live ball, but you can't advance it.
Who made up these NFL rules?
I don't know.
They've like, can you
Some
imagine
lawyer somewhere.
the NBA if like every 3 plays you had to argue if that score counts? Well, I don't know. It went through the basket.
Don't they argue for a foul on? Don't they argue for a foul on every shot anyway in the NBA?
They do, I do. But the NFL thing of like arguing what's a catch and what's not a catch is insane. Going back to the Knicks though, Jay, don't quit the show because if you do, I bet the team will turn it around the minute you quit the show.
It's possible.
Like
Could be.
Jay quits, and suddenly Tim Hardaway is the all-star I pretended he was in the beginning of the season.
Oh, remember last episode I said I traded Cantor on my fantasy team?
Yeah.
I traded him for Michael Carter-Williams.
Was Michael Carter-Williams taken by the Turkish government and is now in prison?
No, but he hurt his thumb and is out 8 to 12 weeks.
Oh. So then in that case, you actually got less value for Cantor. I thought you traded Cantor for Bagley.
No.
Who'd you trade for Bagley? Was that
No.
Gordon Hayward?
Oh, no, sorry, not Michael Carter-Williams. Wendell Carter.
Oh, Wendell Carter. Yeah. That's what I'm remembering.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so good times out there.
Can you curse players on other teams? Like get them on get players we just don't like on your fantasy team? Like, can you curse James Harden right now? Because I'd really like you to get James Harden on your team. Is it when people always talk about like Michael Jordan with these rules and these rules? How many points did Michael Jordan score if you weren't allowed to guard him anymore?
He'd average like 50 a game for the season.
They had a thing where they asked Scottie Pippen how to guard Harden. I wish Pippen had just said, "You're not allowed to. I've seen the games." It's absurd how many times.
That.
Yeah, everything's a foul.
Anyway,
like Harden's amazing, but it's still ridiculous you're not allowed to guard him. Like, how good would Harden be if you're allowed to play defense against him?
Yeah, very, very, very good.
I mean, I'm sure he'd still be an all-star, but like the streak of him scoring 50 points a game lately has been, or 40 points a game, would not be happening.
Agreed. So Nasir writes,
Jay wants the show to end so badly.
the team has been horrible. Wouldn't you guys rather us trade our lotto pick for a good piece and then pick up a point guard like Trey Jones? I think it's better for our team.
Oh, that touched his thumb.
Sorry. I would rather a lotto pick.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of picks have higher ceilings. You might as well swing for the stars.
Well, not only that, you get a good look at the guy at a very cheap contract. Like, you use up your cap space so quickly if you just sign a free agent.
Well, who do you want us to sign?
He didn't say.
Oh, okay.
He said get a cheap point guard like Ty Jones, but sign like a bigger free agent.
Well, they can sign a bigger free agent though. They have the money.
But I would still rather like a bunch of pieces. All the teams who are really good have drafted a bunch of their players.
Almost besides like LeBron going to like what Miami and Cleveland, generally every team always has at least one homegrown star, if not more.
Well, I mean, Cleveland drafted Irving and Miami drafted Dwayne Wade. So
yeah, I mean, you could say, well, the Knicks drafted Porzingis. I mean, the thing is, the team needs a lot right now. If you took Durant on this team, I don't know how good they'd be even with just Durant.
Yeah, I mean, in the East they'd make the playoffs, but they wouldn't win.
The team is so thin right now. On this roster, I feel like there's knock. I mean, who's on this roster that's really worth like investing in?
Other than Porzingis.
Of course, yes.
Knox. And Robinson.
Yeah, I'd argue Robinson. And then maybe third, might be Cornette at this point.
Yeah.
And that's like an iffy. Like if Cornette left, you'd be like, it's not a huge deal.
Yeah, and same with like Dodson and Vonleh. It'd be cool if they stay. If not, I'll I'll be fine. I'll sleep.
Of
I'll
course,
still
they
sleep
gave
good.
the call to the Patriots. What a bunch of bullshit.
Wait, the Patriots get to keep the ball?
They're saying he didn't touch the ball.
That was really close on the replay, but that's insane. I guess like the Ntilikina thing, like I think Ntilikina may develop to be a decent player, but it's really like the two sides of this issue. People are being like he's complete garbage. I don't think he's complete garbage, but they argue that like he's this amazing player. We just played him more. Like we just see how amazing he is.
Yeah, I don't. I guess I'm in the middle of those two.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if the Knicks trade away Ntilikina, I don't think it'd be a good idea. But if they trade him away, I don't know if we'd really regret it that much either.
So there was a rumor going around last week. It was Ntilikina and Hardaway for Wes Matthews and Dennis Smith Jr.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Yeah, so I wouldn't do it. And I like the positive, I guess, would be dumping Hardaway's contract.
Yes. Then you'd have room for two.
Yeah,
max
but then aren't
free
they just going to
agents.
bring him back in 2 years like they did last time?
Maybe.
Yeah, but even more money this time.
But the theory is if you do that, you have room for two max free agents.
But we're not getting two max free agents.
So then you can get Kevin Durant and Kemba Walker.
Yeah, it's just no one's. When's the last time like top free agents were all like, "Hey, let's go to the worst team in the NBA."
First of all, they're only the third worst team in the NBA.
We're trying to get first worst. We need to be first worst because I think apparently right now the Knicks' highest percentage, the sixth pick is they have the best percent chance of getting the sixth pick right now.
Mm-hmm. That's not good.
No, you want to basically the Knicks need to have the worst record. Oh, wow!
Karma.
Kansas City just started. I'm on delay here.
Yeah,
watching my phone. They just had a big interception. Wow, this would be amazing if Brady loses.
Basically getting the ball where they should have got the ball. Oh, and Julian Edelman got laid out too. That was nice.
Oh man,
Ryan.
so
writes, hey guys,
What?
love the podcast. Few questions for you. What seed in the East would this potential team be next year? Kyrie, Ntilikina, Hardaway, Trier, Knox, Dodson, KP, Vonleh, and Mitchell Robinson.
So his addition, who did he add?
He added Kyrie and that's it. Basically, this team with Kyrie.
I guess with KP, obviously.
Sixth.
Yeah, maybe seventh. I don't
Ninth.
know. Yeah. By the way, a lot of people also, when they talk about Ntilikina, I keep seeing people bring up on Twitter how well he plays with KP. They're like, he's so good with KP. First of all, even if he is good with KP, you got him good with other players also. And second, like the sample size, KP and like Ntilikina barely played together last year.
Yeah.
So people should stop saying how good he plays with KP. The only player who's playing with KP, like he's got to play good with everyone, and there's not much of a sample size. He can suck with KP now.
He's only good with one player in the NBA.
I don't know, sixth or seventh seed. Kyrie would make having a real point guard in this team would make a huge difference.
So he also writes, with getting Kyrie or Kemba would essentially put us in win now mode, especially with the questions around KP long term. If we do not land a top 3, Zion, Barrett, or Porter Jr., don't you think our next best option is to package that pick and Hardaway's dog shit contract for an established two-way player, for example, Beal, Butler, etc.? I don't want anything to do with Butler.
We had this question last week on the show, and you actually liked this. You liked this. You liked it actually. We talked about packaging the first pick in the draft, and maybe Hardaway for Beal, and you said that was okay, and then signing someone. You liked that pick.
Yeah, I'm fine with Beal, not Butler.
Yeah, okay, fine. But you had Beal and Kyrie plus KP. It'd be a very interesting team.
Yeah, that's a top 4, I would think.
Yeah, I might be down for that. I don't know. Why is it so hard? We've been talking forever about the Knicks actually doing a rebuild. And we are in, would it be fair to say the Knicks are in year 2 of the actual rebuild?
Yeah.
Because you can't really.
25.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to look at, you're probably right, Bri. But the Knicks have screwed it up so many times with stuff like signing Noah and trading for Rose. We had to get rid of Phil Jackson. Since Phil Jackson left, I really can only count this as the real rebuild.
Gotcha.
So it's reasonable in year 2 to be bad, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And we kind of want a top pick in the draft, so you have to be bad, right?
Yeah.
So why are we not more excited for the Knicks actually doing a real rebuild?
Probably because it's a very, very, very thin draft this year. So if the Knicks don't get a top 2, maybe top 3 pick, the odds are we tanked all year for not much.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Well, we are doing the correct right now. We're doing the right thing to get that pick.
Get there.
Yeah, we
Got
are.
it.
We are. But, you know.
So why aren't you more Jay? In particular, you've been calling for a real rebuild since the show started, or just not every year, but like you've been calling for a long time.
Look,
for it.
I'm happy they're doing a rebuild, but it's not like I'm going to be like, yay, we lost 40 games in a row. Like, I'm like, okay, cool, they're doing it right, but it's nothing to get excited about. It's not fun. It's going to suck.
They scored a touchdown, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
You
Do you think Brady's going to come back?
Yeah.
You guys are really focused today.
Oh, whatever. The Knicks suck.
Okay, part 2 of the question. If we don't sign Kyrie or Kemba and get the number 1 pick...
No, let's go back to this. Go back to this, Jay. Why can't you be more excited for the fact that they're doing the real rebuild that you've been calling for? You're like do a rebuild, and now I'm out on the team.
No, I'm happy about it, but like, how excited can you get?
I don't know. It's been...
It's a struggle. It's like with the Mets, Mark. Not to...
Let's just spend the rest of the show talking about the Mets and football.
I have a question.
Are you excited about this Mets team? I'm getting a little excited,
I have a basketball question.
Yeah.
Who's going to have the more insignificant career when it's all said and done? James Harden or Russell Westbrook?
Because you're arguing neither one of them is going to get to the finals.
Right.
I'm going to say Russell Westbrook averaged a triple-double for an entire season, so that's going to be remembered for a long, long time.
And where did they finish? In 8th place, right?
He got the MVP award, and he's an MVP. Harden's also an MVP, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So that's also he's not going to have an insignificant career because of that. I mean, they're both Hall of Famers.
Do you know Russell Westbrook averaged a triple-double 2 years in a row, and this will be the 3rd year in a row?
Yeah, and how many games have they won?
Did he do it 3? He did 2 years in a row, huh?
Yeah,
wow.
And this year he's solidly in it for a 3rd.
I mean, the thing is, Brian, you're calling him insignificant. They're all going to be Hall of Famers.
I mean, to me, he's the J.J. Watt of the NBA. Like, he gets all these stats, but big deal. They don't do anything. They go, wow, I got a triple-double for the season, and we finished in 8th place and probably won maybe one playoff game.
Well, in fairness to JJ...
Everybody hates playing with me.
Well, in fairness to J.J. Watt, it's a team game in football, so he can't do everything. But J.J. Watt's...
No, I know, but all I hear about, he's the best defensive player in the league, blah, 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 which he's not, but, and he gets all these sacks, and he dances after every tackle and everything, and it's just like...
Okay, So, as far as Russell Westbrook, a lot of people do not like playing with him. There's some arguments that he, chases stats, obviously. But right now, Oklahoma has one of the best defenses in the league.
The best defense in the league.
The best defense in the league.
Probably because Melo's not in the team anymore. That would make your defense better anyway.
Remove Melo, and now you're the best defense in the league. They have of teams that would take out Golden State. Which in the West, what team has the best chance to take out Golden State?
Golden State.
That is the correct answer.
True.
Thunder.
I would argue Thunder probably is number 1. I mean, Houston came very, very close last year.
Yeah,
but and once again, Chris Paul missed the most important game of his career.
Well, Chris Paul doesn't want to have stats that are doesn't want to have a career that's better than Melo's. So, yeah, I would argue that they have it. And also, if Durant does leave, then Houston or Oklahoma have a decent shot going to the finals.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. All right, let's finish.
But that's not till next year.
That's not till next year. Do you think LeBron won't make the playoffs?
Be awesome.
That'd be amazing.
What would be really, really interesting is if LeBron and Harden both miss the playoffs this year.
Are they both out of the? Are they both not in the playoffs right now?
No, they're both in the playoffs, but they're not solidly in the playoffs. I mean, Lakers are tied for the 8th place spot, and the Rockets are in 5th, but they're only 2 games out of that last spot.
Who are the 9 and 10 teams?
I thought the Lakers weren't the Lakers in the 8th spot? thought when I looked it up.
They're tied with the Clippers.
Oh.
Okay, so Sacramento is coming on. They're playing a lot better lately.
Mm-hmm.
But they're the only team that would really catch anyone. Minnesota's not going to catch anyone.
Yeah, probably not. I'm just saying it would be very funny if that happens.
By the way, Golden State finally has a better record than Denver. I can't believe how good Denver's been.
I can.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you one player on Denver.
Even if we said you
But
probably would know.
I was going to say, Bry's an NBA expert we brought on.
If you gave me a multiple choice, if you gave me 4 players and one was on Denver, I probably wouldn't get it right.
Okay, Jay, you want more questions?
I'm still trying to get through this guy's question. If we don't sign Kyrie or Kemba and get the number 1 pick, Barrett is the 100% the pick we need. All Knicks fans desperately talk about getting the point guard of the future that we have never had, and Barrett is that guy. Zion is going to take a lot of time, and too many people get caught up in the highlights. 2 points is 2 points. I cannot see Knox and Zion both growing their maximum potential while playing in the small window, win-now window they're going to be forced to in the eventual max deal KP is going to get. And health concerns that become attached. Also, do not get caught into Barrett being listed as a small forward. So is Simmons going into the draft. Barrett is a point guard. He dribbles 3 times more than any other player on Duke this year.
Who's the other top college basketball player? I mean, that's a reasonable. That argument's reasonable. I think Barrett's supposed to be really good. I'd be very happy for the Knicks to take him.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the other guy that's supposed to be like the top pick? Also, the 3rd pick, basically.
Is it Ja Murray? Something like that?
Ja
Rule?
It's Ja Rule, actually.
Yeah.
Is it Dumont? Something with a D, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
He had a huge game the other night. I think he scored 40 points.
Okay. Yeah, that guy's 3rd right now. So there's still more to this question.
Okay.
With the current Warriors, so to say dynasty, dating all the way back to what current player do you think is the best option to replace Klay Thompson, and they still win 3 out of 4 and probably 4 out of 5? Keep in mind, Klay didn't become an elite defender until after Barnes left. I think the most important thing Klay brings is threes at a high percentage, which means floor spacing defense and arguably most importantly, not ego. What do you guys think? He suggested Beal, Middleton, Eric Gordon. It's not possible. Hardaway? No, definitely not Hardaway. I would say not Gordon.
Yeah, not Gordon.
His defense is nowhere near good enough.
Yeah.
The thing is, Klay is one of the best shooters in the league.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Beal.
Possibly Beal. There's not many players. Klay is, I think, better than Ryan is giving him credit for.
I heard this question on a related question. I heard the question on I think on the SI podcast. They're talking about could basically the Eastern All-Star team beat the Warriors in a 7-game series?
Yes.
It'd be pretty close though, wouldn't it?
Well, not because of depth. The Warriors they have a shitty bench.
Yeah, I mean fair, but also in the playoffs, though, you go like everyone's playing a lot more minutes. So
still need bench players. I mean, you can have like Bradley Beal coming off the bench as opposed to Quinn Cook or something. You know.
Speaking of benches, since I you know what, I did not follow what happened here. What happened with when Boogie Cousins came back? What happened?
He played 15 minutes and got 14 points.
So
it looks like it's going to work out.
Their bench got better. What do you think about the Knicks signing Boogie Cousins? I think we might have talked about that last show. What do you think about the Knicks signing Boogie Cousins with KP?
Another loser player.
Is anyone not a loser player?
Well, I mean, only 6 teams have won a championship in like 20 years, so you do the math. The Cavaliers and the Mavericks are the only teams that haven't won more than one title since 1980.
Wait, what?
The Cavaliers and the Mavericks
are the
only teams that have won a championship and only won one since 1980.
Oh, because everyone else won multiple.
Right. And there's only like 7 teams that have won.
And the Mavs got robbed of one, so they should have won too. I would put Danny Green into that conversation instead of Clay.
Danny Green?
Yeah.
Okay, you want to go to the next question?
There's 5 parts to this guy's question, so there's part 4.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you want to go to the next part, basically.
Put MJ in his prime on this Knicks roster in this day of the NBA. How many points does he average? How many more wins do we get? Compare that to what our team would be with LeBron. Very interested in you guys' answers. Got into a heated argument about this with my friend at a bar last week.
Did you say that again? Sorry.
So basically, take this roster, add MJ, take this roster, add LeBron. How many points do they average? Well, LeBron would probably average the same. How many points would Jordan average, and how many more wins would we get with each guy?
With the Knicks?
Yeah.
So add MJ or LeBron. I think both guys could get us to the finals.
I think Jordan averages 40 a game with the no hand checking rules.
I don't know. Do you think it would be that big of a difference?
I do. Think about it. He averaged 35 points a game, and you were allowed to basically pull and grab on the guy the entire time. An extra 5 points when you're not allowed to touch him.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
Yeah, but he also had a couple other players. Like, you had to guard Pippen. There's nobody on the Knicks you even need to guard if it's just Jordan.
I mean, look at the Cleveland Cavaliers right now. So LeBron got this Cavaliers team to the NBA Finals. LeBron or Michael Jordan get this Knicks team to the finals. Even though you don't have to guard anyone else on the team, they're that good they make everyone else so much better.
Yeah. So which team do you think would be better?
I would think I'm going to say LeBron would make a bigger difference to the team than Michael Jordan would be. I know that's crazy to say. The reason I would say that is because of how good of a passer LeBron is. His team basketball is a little better with LeBron than it is with Michael Jordan.
I'm going to go with Jordan because I think the hand checking rules are a bigger deal than people think, and I think he would be blowing away Harden's streak right now, and he would just be scoring so many points. It would be hard to lose games.
So how much worse do you think LeBron would be with the hand checking rule?
Much worse.
Much worse?
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, he would still average over 20 a game, but like he wouldn't be averaging 27 a game.
Okay.
I would shave 5 points off of his. Yeah.
I don't. The problem with this though, that you take everyone that played in that era, you're adding 5 points to their scoring titles, and saying they're all 5 points better, and all these guys are 5 points worse.
No, I'm not adding everyone from that era. Not everyone played the same. Jordan didn't take threes. His entire scoring repertoire was basically driving to the basket. So.
But most of the guys from that era didn't take them. But also, Jordan did shoot he did also shoot like twos. Like he was a jump shooter also.
He was,
beyond.
But think about all the drives with the hand checking. Now imagine all those are fouls.
No, I don't argue with that. I'm just saying like it's kind of ridiculous to say like, yeah. I mean, it is a different game. It is like when I see what they do with James Harden, then like,
yeah. Think about that with Michael Jordan. Jordan was better at driving than Harden, and Harden takes 16 free throws a game.
How many did Jordan take a game?
Look it up real quick. Not 16 a game.
Well, yeah, I mean that's I don't, but he doesn't normally take 16 a game either, though. He's not averaging 16 a game. Let's see, Jordan. Well, my argument really here is, I mean, both are amazing players. I would just think LeBron would probably be better getting his team involved. Do you think Jordan would be? I mean,
Jordan averaged 8 a game for his career.
And what is Harden averaging? I bet it's not that much higher.
You don't think it's that much higher?
No, I don't think it's actually that much higher.
Harden is. Well, that's the thing. Harden's averaging 8.5, but he was coming off the bench.
So he's averaging almost the exact same number.
But he was coming off the bench for the first 3 years, so that really skewed it. He's averaged over 10 a game for 5 straight years.
Well, I was just talking about let's talk about free throw attempts. Right now, he's averaging 11 and a half right now, which is kind of absurd.
Mm-hmm.
And he's basically actually 10 a year previous. And Jordan was averaging how many in his peak, basically?
In his peak, Jordan was averaging about 10. Nah. He had a 2-year streak where he was averaging 10. During the championship years, he was averaging 8.
Okay. So, in other words, Michael Jordan. The big difference here is Michael Jordan getting 2 less points a game for free throws.
With hand checking rules.
I'm just saying, going to the line wise, Harden goes to the line 2 more times than Jordan does a game.
Yeah, because you're not allowed to touch them.
I know we're arguing. I agree with you. I agree that the rules are kind of ridiculous today, and they can't foul. Everything's a foul on Harden. I totally agree with you on that.
I'm saying Jordan.
guys,
Jordan took 8
by the way,
game
this
when you were
sucks.
allowed to like push and punch the guy.
Right? You don't even mention.
They let him score. Yeah, no, they let him score.
Oh, they let him score.
I think they did.
Oh, because they want to get the field goal, huh?
Well, yeah, now they get the ball back with 3 minutes instead of them. If they if he went down after the first down, they drain another minute and a half off the clock.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're
pissed
right.
off.
They clearly look. So now I see the replay. They clearly let him just go through.
They've pretty much probably said, stop him in the hole. If he gets through the hole, just let him go.
I mean, I guess you kind of just say like, you're right. They would have burned the entire clock there and lost the game.
Yeah, Michelle, he's stupid. He should have went down like at the 1 yard line.
Last part of the question. As of right now, who are your awards? MVP?
Who you got, Bri?
For NBA MVP, how about probably Harden again? I don't know.
Who you got, Jay?
Giannis.
Yeah, it'd be hard to argue against Giannis. He's having that crazy of a year.
I mean, the Bucks have the best record in the NBA.
Yeah, and
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's shocking.
With Chris Middleton as their second best player.
Isn't it amazing that Giannis can't shoot and and he's the MVP?
Yeah.
Like, how is if he's got to at some point? You think he's got to develop an outside shot?
If he does, he's going to be the best guy in the league. Brian, put your microphone back in.
Jay, what are you doing?
That's
Sorry,
great.
I accidentally pulled my headphones out of my laptop.
See, this podcast is like my job. You're blaming me for everything.
All right.
Brian so far is adding a lot to the show.
Most improved player.
Most improved player. Last year was pretty easy with Oladipo, huh?
Yeah.
Are you gonna take Moutier for most improved player?
I was gonna pick LeVert till he got injured.
Yeah.
And then I was gonna take Capella, and then he got injured.
Is D'Angelo Russell having that much better of a year than last year? He's having a better year.
Yeah, that's a good one.
He's getting to the point where he's becoming the Nets are now we might want to keep this guy. So that's a pretty big. Who else do you put up there?
I mean, yeah, Russell's pretty good.
It's not Brandon Ingram, right?
No, which I'm very surprised.
I'm surprised it's not working out having LeBron there. He usually makes guys better. I mean, whatever. Ingram's the Lakers are we could just not have Ingram on the team anymore.
I got it.
Oh,
Buddy Hield.
Having a great year. That's a good call. That's a really good call.
He's averaging 25 and 2.
Yeah, he's doing great. What's the next award? Rookie of the Year?
Yes.
I Doncic an idea of who you're gonna say. That was a terrible pun. Doncic, obviously.
Yeah. Coach of the Year?
Jared Jackson's really good, but this is Doncic has been ridiculous.
Coach of the Year?
Fizdale? Do you think Fizdale is do you think Fizdale is the guy to lead this team for the next 5 years?
I think so.
Why do you have faith in him? The Knicks are on the verge of being the worst team in Knicks history.
Look at the roster.
Yeah, but in theory, the teams you could be better with a better roster. So, I mean, oh my God, is that a fumble?
No, that's a penalty on the Patriots anyway.
Oh, okay.
I would go with Budenholzer for Coach of the Year.
Because Milwaukee's got the best record in the league.
Not
also
they got
Milwaukee
the best
was
record of the league. The fact that 2 years was it 2 years ago when they had Jason Kidd? It was almost the same roster, and they were terrible.
Well, last year they had Bledsoe, and they were a 7th seed or 6th seed. They weren't that high.
Actually, this is the first year for Budenholzer, so it's almost the same team as last year, and they weren't that good.
It wasn't Kidd last year? Was it Kidd last year? I thought Kidd got fired before last year. Or am I crazy?
think he got fired during the year.
Maybe he got fired during the year. I don't know. Either way, Budenholzer, it's been a. Are you upset the Knicks didn't get him?
Yeah, he seems like really good. So last year, yes, Kidd was fired in the middle of last year, and Joe Prunty was the interim.
Yeah, I mean they also. What was their record last year? If you happen to have it up, like what seed were they?
I don't have it up. They were. Yeah, I don't have that up. I think they were like 6th.
I just remember them being not that great, and like I was like, how could they not be that great with Giannis, like one of the best players in the league? It looks like last year they were they finished 7th in the East.
Yeah, see, and it's almost the same team.
Yeah, actually, they have the second. By the way, they have the second best record in the NBA right now. They're second. They're second in the East. I think Toronto's ahead of them.
Oh, they have less losses, but technically they're half a game behind because Toronto has 2 more wins. But still.
Yeah, I mean, either way, they're obviously very good. What about Nurse in Toronto?
He's up there.
Coaches.
He's up there.
So, Toronto hired a new coach, Milwaukee hired a new coach, and the Knicks hired a new coach. Who is it working out the worst for?
Well, who has garbage players?
Do you?
You have 2 MVP candidates on the Bucks and Raptors.
Why do you have faith in why do you have faith in Fizz? The roster's garbage, fine, and adding like a much better coach like would still be bad. Why do you have faith? What gives you any faith in Fizz?
Because I think prior coaches would have started Cantor the whole time and played Hardaway and Lee 40 minutes a game. Like he doesn't seem afraid to play the young guys, develop players, try different things, think outside the box.
Okay. Does thinking about outside the box involve calling plays, having an offense?
You're very contrarian today, aren't you?
I'm just playing contrarian. Whatever. What else? What are we talking about, Jay? Come on. I'm just saying, like you have to admit the offense does not look very good. It looks like, and he also has chosen Moody above Ntilikina as far as he chooses the offensive guy that doesn't play defense over the defensive guy that does not play offense. Are these good signs? But the offense, do you think the offense looks like they've like drawn up any plays, or he's like the offense looks like he goes, just see what you guys can do out there?
I think with the group he has, it's the best you're going to get.
Yeah. So I am right now feeling that maybe he could be the coach. I have no idea. I'm hoping he's the right coach, but it's so hard to tell.
True.
I do like what you said that he is playing the young guys. He's not like feeling I have to play this guy over this guy. Though he seems like he has to play. I don't know if he has to play Timmy or it's just like.
I mean, Timmy's the best player, even though we hate him and he's not that good. He's the best player on the Knicks.
Yeah, he's the as somewhere said what was it? I think Bill Simmons said he's the worst player on the team. Best player, whatever.
Yeah. Final part of that email. Also, as a depressed Knicks fan, I'm going to cheer you up slightly with a name for you. That name is David Kahn. Kahn is the former GM of the T-Wolves that passed on Steph Curry in the 2009 draft, not once but twice. That always makes me feel a little better. You guys do a tremendous job. Don't ever sleep on that. Go Knicks. Remember, without rain, the sunshine wouldn't be so great. When we finally win, it is going to be amazing. Thank you, Ryan.
When we finally win the title, when they hit that, like the buzzer goes off and the Knicks are champions, will we all simultaneously come?
Probably.
Jorge writes, have you guys sat down and realized how funny Cantor is? The guy missed 3 games for the following reasons. He ate 7 hamburgers, and he didn't play in London because he was worried about getting killed. My question is, what is the next excuse?
That's amazing, actually. I mean, he had legitimate concerns not to go to London. I totally I would first of all, the Knicks don't need him anyway, but of course you don't want to go to London and get killed. The burger thing is insane. He claims that he did not get sick because of the burgers. He said it had nothing to do with him missing games. Of course, is Kansas City going to score a touchdown here?
Yeah, they just did.
They just did? Okay.
They shouldn't have. They should have run the clock out some more.
Wow. Okay, so Brady's got the ball with 2 minutes to go.
They need a touchdown.
They need a touchdown.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're down by 4, huh?
They should have. Oh, they didn't have enough time to run it to the 2-minute warning, but they should have just. He should have. The Patriots now. The Patriots just let them score.
I didn't see the replay. Was that pass interference like legit?
Yeah, it was. And then they also cheap shotted Mahomes too. So there were 2 penalties on that. But
let's wrap this up so we can watch the last 2 minutes of the game.
Okay, that's a fair point.
All right, so we are NY Knicks podcast on Spotify and Patreon and Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. The NY Knicks podcast at gmail.com is our email, and the New York Knicks podcast.com is our website.
Oh, by the way, what's the next excuse what's Cantor's next excuse going to be?
Yes.
What do you guys got for that? I think his next excuse will be he got lost in a funhouse mirror thing at a carnival.
I think he's going to do something really stupid, like forget his sneakers.
I think he's going to miss a game because Trump is finally going to get that wall up, and he's going to be on the wrong side of the wall.
I think he's going to have a shaving accident.
Right. I think he's going to put sticks outside of an apartment where Bry lives, and Bry's going to accidentally kill him.
You can also check out my new website.
That's not funny.
You can also check out my new website, jlovesmusic.wordpress.com, my music review site. I put up album reviews, and it's good stuff.
We still have the Facebook questions we can go through real fast. Bobby writes.
So we're not going to watch the last 2 minutes of the game.
We're going to watch the last
Stupid. You should have downed it.
Okay.
You should have.
Bobby writes, could somebody please find a cure for this God-blessed Knicks affliction I have suffered for almost 50 years? I am foolishly obsessed with this team, but it never leads to pleasure. Nope, all pain, all the time. Frump. Rayner writes, if we fell the third or worse in the draft, would you throw out our 2020 first rounder in to get the number 1 pick, Zion, e.g. Doncic, Atlanta, Dallas? Yeah, would you basically trade the 2020 pick to get the first pick of this draft, to get Doncic?
No.
To get Zion?
No.
Jeffrey writes, with all the trade talk going on, it got me wondering about the players we've traded away. What would be your best team of players we've traded away from the Knicks? David writes, eyes on the prize, hashtag road to Zion. Sorry, Jeffrey, we're trying to watch the last 2 minutes of a game that actually matters.
Ariza, Randolph, Lee.
Yeah.
Gallinari. There we go.
That was a good question. The problem is the Knicks haven't even traded away anyone that great. Like the Knicks just, you know what the better thing would be? A team of 5 players from draft picks the Knicks have traded away. That'd be an all-star team.
Yep.
Question from David. Who is more likely to get traded before the deadline, Hardaway or Lee, and what would you like to get back for either of the two? I think what we'd like to get back for either of the two is cap relief.
Yeah, Lee is more likely.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think of the two, Hardaway has more value. A team is more likely to want Hardaway than Lee. Like Hardaway would be a solid 6-man. Lee, I still think he's good. I think teams aren't going to be that high in getting him.
We'll find out within 2 weeks.
When's the deadline?
It's like February 4th or something.
Lee writes, perfect way to lose.
I think we saw it on Thursday, goaltending.
Yeah. The only other way I would say is that if the goaltending was performed by James Dolan. Stephen writes, why was Mitchell Robinson not on the court at the end of the game? Surely you put one of your better defensive players when defending a lead.
I think he's on a minutes restriction right now, and he hit that minutes amount.
Hey, coach, you want me to go in there? We need Zion. Sit the hell back down. And last question, Devin writes, shooting into the opposing team's basket. Now that would make me stop watching for a week.
Remember when Nate Robinson did that? Oh no, that was our own basket. Never mind.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
We're gonna watch the rest of the game.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Now the Patriots are ready to score.
All right.
Oh, sweet.
Goodbye, everybody.
My love. Goodbye, everybody. It's all over. Goodbye. It's time to go. This is the end. Say goodbye. I'm gonna leave you. It's the end.
alone.